Of class 9th. This video will be covering the concept of mole. These are some instructions that you can see on your screen. I would highly appreciate if you could have a book with you. If you need to write anything, you must have stationery along with that. If you have any questions, ask in a separate message so that the group can be effectively used only for the teaching purposes. Moving on. This basically is online lesson 2, you could say, which is the mole concept. So go ahead and write the index in your copy. And the basic objective of this lesson is to make you understand the concept of mole, specifically for review exercise section C, question number 2. Moving ahead, kindly watch this video very carefully and listen to my voice in order to understand this concept. So, whenever you go to a supermarket, right, you buy the things in different quantities and in standards. Like either you have 1 kilogram of rice or 200 milliliter of milk, or the bananas are bought in dozens. So basically, specific units are used for every single quantity. But how will you measure any kind of an atom or a substance? Basically, all these things are made up of tiny particles. When coming towards chemistry, how can you tell if 1 dozen of bananas contain how many particles in them? So that is where the concept of mole is required to standardize all these things. Basically, now, how many atoms are there in a pure chunk of gold? So you wouldn't be able to answer that if you're lost. Then, and how many, for example, atoms are there in a glass of water? Or how many molecules are there because it's a compound? In order to answer all these questions, you need the basic concept of mole. So moving ahead, basically, mole is number of particles, which is going to be 1 mole is equals to 6.022 into 10 raised power 23 atoms or molecules or particles. Now, what is this number 6.022 into 10 raised power 23? Basically, it's this big number. So these are the number of particles, molecules or atoms that are present in any 1 mole of a substance. So if there is any substance which has 3 times these many particles, so we will say it has 3 moles. Okay. So, and this basically is the standard. And if something has 8 times the particles of 6.022 to 10 power 23, we will say it has 8 moles of particles. Now, 1 mole basically is equals to 6.022 into 10 raised power 23 atoms, molecules or particles. So how many particles will be there in 1 mole of pure gold? We'll say in 1 mole of pure gold, there will be 6.022 into 10 raised power 23 gold atoms. Okay? And in 1 mole of pure water, there will be 6.0 to 10 raised power 23 water molecules. This we are talking about 1 mole, remember over here. Pure 1 mole. So 1 mole is basically how much? 6.0 to 10 raised power 23 atoms, molecules or particles. Moving ahead, then you need to know that basically if you have 6.0 to 10 raised power 23 hydrogen atoms, what does that mean? Basically think, it means that basically they are 1 mole of hydrogen atoms. Okay, and this must be known. And if there are 6.0 to 10 raised power 23 molecules of a compound, then basically there will be 1 mole of that compound. Here it is copper sulfate, which is blue in color. So 1 mole of any substance is this many particles to be understood. So coming to the end, what would be the scientific definition? The scientific definition will be 1 mole of any atom, molecule or particle is basically 6.022 into 10 raised power 23 atoms. Now, the question over here that will arise from many of you is, sir, then how will we know how many moles are there in any atom or quantity of a gas? This will be covered in the second video as we move on.